irrespective of the results. Okay, some of it in group 2, some of it did not write, whatever the context is. This has to happen, right? This is something which is uniform for all of you. You did not write this and you have to write it. Whether you only have group 1 left, potentially you only have group 1 left, either way you are looking at this. This is something which all of you are attempting, no matter what. Now how are we going about it? So before results, we call it result readiness. Okay? Result readiness. Now result readiness is, let's say, between June 21st to June 30th. Now the maximum or the latest date would be July 3rd is what we believe, and just before CA day, probably on 30th, may or may not be released because the focus is on CA day. Generally this is what we're guessing without getting into the details. So not later than July 3rd, it might be out, or slightly here and there. So in that 4-5 days, someday it will be out. We are not worried about it, that's not the focus. Here, between these 10 days, what are we doing? ASM and audit, okay? Again, both of them in bootcamp style. 5 days, 50 marks. 5 days, 50 marks. So what will happen with this? If you do not do anything, you'll overthink about the results and you'll create an emotional attachment to the result. The problem is, you spend 2 weeks writing exam or 1 week writing an exam, but 2 months thinking about result, doing nothing. So it's not because of your hard work, it's just because of your idleness, you're creating more attachment to the result, which will create unnecessary nonsense, which will impact this setup. It's not about May 25. The result will impact July. So the result day is all about the result of September 25, how well you process. Now how are we handling this? Okay, once you get exposure to 2 subjects back to back, most likely ASM will cross this with the given background, and in the next 5 days you should be able to get here, and some of you might even touch 60, couple of you. Most of you will be there. Let's say median is average, possibility of getting to 50, okay, because you will get multiple cycles again. This straightforward, I want you to get 25 here. There is some context to you, you understand audit to a reasonable extent, and it's a very aggressive target, I understand that, but the topics which we have selected and the way we are going about it, this is a possibility. Even if I give you 50 days, still you won't get 25. So it's not a consequence of time alone, because we are focusing on high yielding